Welcome to another EBX discussion. Here to lift them spirits and keep you going and keep you inspired. And I give honor to my ancestors. Honor thy mother, honor thy father. Anyone that we held dear in our family that transitioned, may they rest in peace and in power. And I always got to give love and a salute to my soldiers and soldierettes. Salute, because you could have been doing anything, but you chose to stop in and listen to a brother's discussion. Much appreciated, because the more energy I give out and I give back, it makes all of us stronger. So I salute and I thank you, and I know we doing great, because if you are alive and breathing and you woke up this morning, we are back to fight another day. And we're going to talk about becoming supernova. I don't know if a lot of brothers and sisters know what that means, but when you become one with that divine, a lot of things will get downloaded to you. You will come across a lot of things that you won't understand, but subconsciously you will understand, as I hear a lot of our teachers say. Salute. And I always got to give a salute to the reachers and teachers out there. Got to keep that spirit of unity in the atmosphere, because there's a lot of division in the atmosphere. So I don't care where we are, what corner of the world, be that light in a dark place, so to speak. You shine bright wherever you are. Let nothing stop you. And that's becoming a supernova. Because a supernova is a astronomical term for a star that explodes like crazy. But and that saying star is just an analogy, an example, because I don't use that word belief, but I'm going to say it now as an example. I don't believe in being a star. I don't have a desire to be a celebrity. And becoming a supernova helps you to overpower things that try to draw you in or tempt you or look good, like the old saying goes, what all glitter is not gold. And you really have to have a strong sense of willpower deep within to fight off a lot of entities that will make you think, well, you should do this. And then if you do this, your life will be like that. And your life will be this and you'll this. Everything is not for everybody. You have to know what's true to oneself. And that's becoming supernova. Because those of us that are on a righteous, bold path, we are that divine's pride and joy. Because like I said on the video, do you know, ladies and gentlemen, how challenging, how tough, how disheartening, how heartbreaking it would be to have to watch over the whole universe? I said that. Ponder that. If you had to, would you want that job? Now, just being a human being and dealing with different entities and different individuals that haven't worked on themselves, that's just enough right there alone. Just walking in life is enough. So just imagine if you were that higher power, that great divine, that great supreme spiritual being, and you have to keep teaching individuals over and over and over. That would be a tough job, because we are here to breathe life to one another. And it's up to those, if they want to receive it, those of us that's reaching, those that are of us righteous brothers and sisters that's teaching those, and they got that fire and they ain't taking no shit. You get to that point in your life. We all reach that truth. It's just a matter of what we do with it. If we step into it or we stay in denial and stay comfortable. Because the way this spiritual realm is going and how the divine is working, he has no time for comfort. He needs that being. It's not even a he. We can't even, not saying that man, some men are low, but it's much more, the supreme being is much more than a human being. It's something that we can't even see. It's so powerful. He only shows us, or see, I said he again. That force only shows us that power in small increments, so to speak, and little small gifts here and there, depending on the individual. Because unfortunately, you got some ignorant, because ignorance is in the atmosphere too. Some are not receiving and taking in what that divine is downloading to them. And those that are aware of their gifts and their powers and know they have them, some are not appreciating it. If you're not appreciating life, then life will be taken from you. And I don't mean physically, because you can be the walking dead. You can be walking and not have life. You have not truly lived until you have become one with oneself. You can be living all your life. You can be walking and talking your whole life and not living. You're not truly alive until you are living within. And you get active, and you connect with that divine. That divine will help you connect with others and will help you stay within and tackle any inner issue, because no issues on our outside can be fought until those battles are fought on the inside. And when you have been on this walk and you have studied and you are serious and we are on fire, we will become supernova, and we will explode. Because those that are like truly, naturally authentic and are really righteous within. Now, some, everybody expresses their power or their speeches or what they feel in their subconscious in different ways. Then you have those that may not speak a lot, or some don't speak at all, but mean well, are righteous in the heart. And that's when a lot of our supernovas are born. Those that have been through trauma, those that have become one with that truth and wants to breathe life into those that we are connected to. That's our supernovas out there. We got a lot of supernovas. And it's unfortunate that we have anti-supernovas, those that aren't self-aware. It's unfortunate that it would be a beautiful world if everyone, and I'm speaking to my melanated brothers and sisters, one day, I'm just so confident in my divine that everything will be in alignment. But it'll be a long time from now, and it'll be a lot of layers, a lot of bull, a lot of crap, a lot of sifting, a lot of things will have to happen for everything will ever truly be in alignment, where those of us that are awakened, we're aware and we know what's going on, but at the same time, we're also like, it's things in it. I heard a content creator say things are like, it's kind of in a weird state right now. And I think we all can kind of feel it. Those that if our senses are heightened and we really have that deep intuition. And I know when you hear a lot of us talk about intuition and discernment and being connected to that divine or greater creator, or, we all have different conceptions of God. This is something I always kind of like to throw in there. And those that aren't aware and don't feel those divine thoughts or magical things in our subconscious, that a lot of us that have that supernova in us, those that don't, it'll be, like I said, it'll seem weird to them. But for those of us that have experienced that true power, we know, and it's not a joke. It's nothing mystical. You won't know until you get there. And meditating, studying, researching, and when we listen to one another, like our teachers per se out here that's teaching, all of us, we are all teachers and leaders. I will always put that spirit out there, because I said on the last podcast, it is too much division in the atmosphere. We got to I said this too, we got to love harder. We got to push that power of positivity out there. We got to get stronger with it. And those that are, we have no time for those that want to hang on and want to have little small debates to take us away from the real issue. We have no time for that shit. That great divine is trying to show all of us something, even those that are in denial. They're trying to show them too, but he's not going to, that great force is not going to keep on showing you, because remember what I said a few minutes ago. That great force, that divine, has to watch over the whole universe. So that's why he need us reachers, or not he. That's why that force, that greater supreme being, and we need to say it like that. We need to think of that greater divine. That's why I always put greater before that divine. That's why I always speak of it in a very, very out of this world universe manner, because that's what that divine is. And I'm sure other brothers and sisters, my soldiers and soldierettes, salute, have experienced, I always reiterate, those great magical wow moments that divine has brought us all through. All of us have experienced that. We didn't been through things, we didn't know how we was going to get through it, but we got through it. And guess how we got through it? That divine. And remember, that divine knows everything before we do. They know that higher force knew that the state that we are in right now. That's how we know. And that divine always know better than we know. That's why I say I give all praises to that universe, that greater, higher, supreme being that has touched all of our hearts, all of our teachers' hearts out here to do the right thing, and not making us, putting that spirit of standing firm, steadfast against anyone or anything, person, place, or thing that tries to come near those that are raising and meaning well and have good intent within. I always mention having good intent, because that divine knows our flaws. That divine know what we gonna do before we do it. But the one main important thing that divine that knows, that's in those that are righteous, that supreme being knows that we have good intent and a good heart within. And it like I said, that divine knows us, what we're going to do before we even do it. That divine knows about our life all the way up into our transition. That force knows. So that's why it's funny to that divine, that higher, greater power, to those that think they're sneaking and doing things evil. And I'm talking about in high places, low places, anywhere there's toxicity and evil, and that's not a benefit to us growing out here. You don't think that divine can see you? And you also, even those that are in denial and being evil and toxic and don't care about themselves or others, they have met with that divine too. Trust me, because that divine comes in many ways. Even if you're in denial and you don't see that divine sees you. And there's always a point where we all have to come to that force. We all do. You can't run from yourself, because everywhere you go, there you are. Remember, wherever the mind goes, the body goes. The body always follows the mind. But the one thing about the difference between the body and the mind, see, you can make a decision in your mind and change it, or you can make a mistake in your mind and go back and fix it, because you haven't acted on that thought. Now, when that thought transmits to your body and you do the act, especially if it's toxic or evil, then it's even worse. So that's why everything begins in the mind. That's why you hear so many of us teachers, we tackle that psyche, because and it's so many of us that's pinpointing that psyche, that spirit within, because again, we have experienced the most traumatic things in our lives, and we know where wrong thinking, toxicity, and not thinking before we react, we know where those things can lead us. And we got a lot of that from our great divine. And everyone has this power. You know, there are those that may be a little bit more special than others, because those that listen are usually the most intelligent. Now, those that listen to the righteous things of life, and becoming that supernova and exploding, that, you know, letting that flame, not being afraid of expressing oneself. That's what being a supernova is all about. Once you becoming a supernova, it doesn't happen overnight. You know, becoming spiritually educated, all those good righteous things that a lot of my soldiers and soldierettes are doing out here, salute. It doesn't come easy. Some easier than others, some harder than others, but it doesn't come overnight. You have to put in the work, investing in yourself. And once you got yourself complete and you're past all the tests, guess what? Those on the outside will feel it too. And it's all about helping one another and keeping us breathing, because again, like I've said before, we all have an expiration date. We all communicate. That divine didn't make us to not communicate. He knew that there were those that will be righteous and that will stand up. And remember, folks, that divine knew about all of this and everything before we were even here. So that's how deep this spiritual realm is. Now, I always reiterate, I don't think, one knows everything, but it's so amazing the things that we have come across, the things we have learned. It's amazing when you give yourself over to that divine and you just let that higher force do what it do. And that's exactly what it will do. It will do what it do. If you stay a supernova, remember, that's an astronomical term of a star exploding like crazy. So that's what's happening out here. We gotta, and you can just see it just lighting up. If you was let's say if we had a map and showed all the areas of where all the righteous brothers and sisters are, it'd be all over the map. It'd be spots everywhere. But I'm using that example because there's so many distractions in this world that sometimes you can't see how many great brothers and sisters, real like-minded brothers and sisters out there. But when you're connected to that divine, he will move everything out the way and you will see right through the smoke screen, right to our brothers and sisters. And that's when you become a supernova, and that divine is showing that joy that you're giving, and is giving it right back to you, because what you put out is what you get back. That's one of the divine's greatest gifts. And another thing that's one of the divine's greatest gifts, us, ladies and gentlemen, us. That's why that divine gives us life. And it's just because, remember, like I said, that divine has to watch over the whole universe. So that's why that force is so overjoyed when those are doing the right thing, because that makes that force job that much more easier. And that's what it's all about. So stay loving, stay hard, stay strong. I don't give a damn what's happening. You let that divine work. Let it do what it do, and let it work through you. Let it work through us. Because we, ladies and gentlemen, are that divine's pride and joy. Those of us that are righteous. And though things can be rough sometimes. Sometimes we don't understand things. Things seem a little weird. But on the flip side, we always have those magical moments. That divine will always let us know that we on the right path. And I'm sure a lot of my soldiers and soldierettes have experienced this, I'm sure. Just like people in my family, those that are righteous. When you know that divine will let you know, because those of us that are righteous and really, really, truly, truly seeking righteousness and want to see that great things in others, because we are connected to one another. So that's why we should teach great things, good things, things that are inspiring, things that can, lift them spirits and hit them chakras. And, what we do righteous in the present always benefit us in the future. You always hear me say that, because you have to put that energy out there. It's too much chaos in the atmosphere. So let's keep this positivity in the atmosphere. Let's help our divine. Let's become one with that divine. Let's be supernovas out here and don't take no crap off nothing, person, place, or thing, because we have family, children, those that we are connected to. This spiritual realm is no joke. And if you think it is, you're the joke. So you better get with it, because like a movie I once saw, if those are not connected to that divine and still being toxic and sneaking behind things and only doing things for your benefit and not taking your life serious, you're going to be left behind. And trust me, you don't want to be left behind, because there are a lot of those, like I said, introverts, we are introverts. Introverts, we are very, very good observers. We are aware of everything that's going on, even if we're not talking about it, or we might talk about it in code. So you would have to be connected to that divine sometimes to know what we're talking about, because that's one of our magical gifts that spiritual divine gives us, is to talk in code. To be able to talk to those that are in an alignment with you will be the only ones that will be able to understand our language. And that's when you are connected to that divine. Sometimes when you become a supernova, you almost have your own language. So, but the only way that those will overstand that spiritual world is to take it serious and to go within and go look in that mirror. And like I said, you can't run from yourself. You can't run from that truth. Everywhere you go, there you are. So become one with that divine so you can iron out real issues within ourselves, because we can't do shit for the world if we fucked up on the inside. And that's real talk. And a lot of us have been there, done that. So become one with that divine. Keep on pushing. And more things will come. Some will come right away. Some won't. You got to move on that divine time. Remember, you're a supernova. And your positivity and your love is exploding. Because I'll say one more time, brothers and sisters, my family, soldiers and soldierettes, reachers and teachers, those of us that got a righteous heart to the pit of our loving soul. Man, if you only knew. Well, I'm sure a lot of us do know. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. Those that are just beginning, we are that great divine's pride and joy. And you will see in the days to come. That's my word. That's my positive thought. That's my real thought. And I give honor to your family, my family, brothers and sisters, reachers and teachers, my children, their mothers. Man. And I thank those that came in to another EBX discussion. Salute, much appreciated. And to all brothers and sisters all over the world, may you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. One.